If you are preparing a battle map for a virtual tabletop adventure, you will always reach a point where you want to add some NPCs to the map to give your players characters to interact with and make it more immersive. And while this is a very easy thing because you can just drag and drop the characters from your characters list towards the map, there is one thing that either will take you a lot of time or could be a real deal breaker. And this will happen whenever it comes to different characters. So let me show you what I mean by that. And if I add, for example, a small goblin army here, I will possibly have a goblin warrior, which is a low grade warrior. And then I have, for example, a goblin boss. And then this goblin boss will most likely have an individual image and also have a name. And now it becomes very easy for your players to identify the important guy. It's the same, for example, if you are in a tavern and there are 10 standard villagers and then there is one guy which looks different, which has a name. They will only focus on him, only talk with him, and all the preparation is for nothing. So it would be much cooler if it would be possible to give every character, even if it's an NPC, an individual image and an individual name as I prepared it here. And this is why we invented the so-called Revolving Token System, which is included in the latest update of Cibola 8. And with this Revolving Token System, it is now possible to spawn individual tokens from one group of tokens. So as you see, I was able to spawn 3 individual orcs, and I can do the same with some town guards. So now it's no longer possible for my players to see which one is important, and it even goes beyond that, because now I can also give them names. I can, for example, rename these 2 town guards I added, and I can also create names for the 3 orcs. So let me save this. Alright, and now it's impossible to decide if this character is important or not. And there's even more, because I can also add individual sound to those players. Let me show you this, because this is also cool. And the orc can answer. Those sound files are also linked to all of the tokens, and if you need to spam a creature, it becomes very easy to do so without the possibility for your players to ignore that. Okay, so let me show you how you can do this. Let's jump right into the Cibola editing window and generate some new enemies that we will later spawn by using the Revolving Token System of Cibola 8. To begin, I will first click on the Cibola button to open the main Cibola editing window, and here I will now generate a new actor, and I want to have some undead warriors, so I will call this group of characters the Army of Death. Alright, and this will be non-player characters, and this is important because only non-player characters have the availability to be linked, so it's possible to spawn several ones of them, and I don't need a specific saving folder. Now I will create the new actor, and the first thing I want to do here is to create an image for this group of tokens. So I click on the generation button, I select an AI. You can do so by using the 3 dots or here in the configuration window, and then I will here set this to character. I will disable not safe for work, and I will enter a prompt. I will write an undead army. And now I will improve this prompt to get some details in. Next thing I want to do is I want to have 2 or 3 variants of it. So I start to use the batch mode right in the beginning. I go to 3 variants and I generate the images. And this image now is my placeholder image for the group, so I can easily find those tokens whenever I need them. And of course it would not have been necessary to generate 3 here, but I did it because I just like to have many options to choose from. So as you see, those images are amazing. Here is my undead army. You can now pick the one you like the most. I think they are great. I also like those. Let's go for them. So I saved this, and now I already created the character, or the group of characters in this case. So the next thing I want to do is to bring individual soldiers into this group, and I will press the generation again. And this time I will also use batch mode, but a different one. I will use the mass generation with different prompts. 1 second. So let me open this field so you can see what I'm doing here. Alright, so most of it can stay the same. I will also not use the not safe for work filter, and then I generate prompts for different images. So here I will write units of an undead fantasy army, and I want to have, let's say, 6 prompts. Now I generate a prompt set, and here I have them. So the first one is a skeletal warrior, second one is a spectre floating, a zombie. Okay, so different creatures here, 6 of them. It would also be possible to do variants of them, but this will really burn your mana, so I won't do it here. I will just use those 6 image descriptions as I have it here. So let's click image generation and accept the mana usage, and here we go. And here we have them. So this is the first one. It's a spectre, it's a zombie, the skeletons, and this creature here. Alright, this is fine. So now I can use those creatures for my revolving token. And to do so, I will now have to select save as a horde in the save menu. And when I click here, it will put all the images I generated to a list. And of course it's also possible to add more images. For example, I can add some from the gallery. If I click on this button, my gallery opens, or the community gallery opens, and here I can, for example, select this dog and I can add it to my token list. So it's easy to have a huge amount of images here, and of course you can also reuse those images later. What's important in the topper part is that you give them an unique name. So if you have already a token called Army of the Dead, it would be better to do a second one. And then we need to delete everything we do not need here. So I get rid of those cover images, I get rid of, yeah, that's fine, I get rid of this one as well. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 images, and for the next step it is important that you have Tokenizer installed and activated. So let's have a check. If you go to your Manage Modules tab, there is Tokenizer. This needs to be activated to generate tokens out of this image, and there are 2 ways to go. So the first thing is you could go for auto token. This is working whenever the image is nicely centered, and if you like it like this, you can use this image. So as you see, this is really quick. You just batch generate the images and then you auto token them, so you have tokens ready to mass spawn those creatures. And here, for example, I will show you how the manual token function works. So if I click on it, it will open Tokenizer, and here I can then manually adjust the image to really have it fit my style. And here we go. I can zoom in, for example, and here is my skeleton. Alright, so let's apply this and save it. Then we have 2 more to go. We go to auto token here again, and we go to auto token here, and that's it. Now we generated 6 different characters, or even 7, and I can just save this as a token revolver now. That's really crazy. Oh, this last guy is also nice. I should have included him as well, but doesn't matter now. So let's close this and I will show you how it works. Let me delete all those tokens here, so it's easier for us to spawn and identify the new ones. And please keep in mind that this is working for all game systems on Foundry VTT. It's also great for Cyberpunk, and it's working beautifully in any other setting. But most important thing is that it's so quick. So now I can spawn those Army of the Dead tokens, and as you see, they have individual images. And now the next step is to change the names. I'll show you this as well. Here they are, 3 of them, and if I need different ones on a different place, I can spawn them there. And to change the names, you go to the Cibola window, go to Actor and select Names, and here you now can either give a prompt for all the names, like names for undead creatures, or you can just roll the dice and it will do individual names, so they may not fit. If that's the case, you can just re-roll until you like the name. Okay, let's take this one and then save them all, and here you go. Now one last thing to do is add some sound to the tokens, and to do so you use the talking token function of Cibola 8. You do a right click towards the token, and as all those tokens are linked, the sounds we create are available for all of them. So then click on the Cibola button, and best for this would be 11 Labs sound effects, and then I write a screaming ghost, for example, and I set a duration for this clip. Let's go for 2 seconds, and I press narration, and then this audio will also be attached to the revolving tokens. And here it is. Amazing. You can now, for example, add something for this image as well, and when you click on any of those tokens and to the token speaks function, then you see it is possible to let them scream, and it's possible to add new ones. So if I click generate audio here, and now I can, for example, make a zombie sound or anything else. Alright, I hope you like this function. In our opinion, it's amazing because it saves you so much time when it comes to generation of really crowded maps with no standard images and no standard characters. And as said, it's so quick and easy to do with name generation and everything you might need. I hope you enjoyed this video. I wish you a lot of fun using this tool to generate more immersive battle maps within no time. Please like and share this video and support us on Patreon for further development, and see you in the next video.